So up to this we covered how to create one-dimensional arrays. Now let me talk about two-dimensional array creation. How to create two-dimensional arrays. Do you know in C language or C++, you people may aware two-dimensional arrays also known as don't tell multi-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array is also known as matrix. Have you remember two-dimension is also known as matrix. In C language or C++, this word is the very popular about two-dimensional array. Can you tell what is a matrix? Matrix is nothing but a group of rows and columns. Are you getting, sir? Here a group of rows and columns are there. Okay, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, first column, second column, third column, fourth column, like okay, fifth column is there. Now take a bit special care about this one. So a group of rows and columns is nothing but matrix. Matrix itself is nothing but two-dimensional array. Okay, now suppose assume I want to represent four student marks in the supplementary marks I want to represent. Supplementary, you know, right? Not main, regular, not regular. Supplementary marks I want to display. First student, second student, third student, fourth student. S1, S2, S3, S4. First student, very intelligent person. Do you know? In the supplementary, all the 5 subjects are there. Okay, very intelligent person. In the supplementary also all the 5. In the supplementary marks are out of 100. 10, 12, 07, 09, 15. Out of 100, 2 intelligent person. Second student having only 2 subjects. Now he got 28 and 67. Okay, good. Third student having only 1 subject. So luckily he got 80 marks in that supplementary. Fourth student having only 3 subjects. So he got some 40, 50 and 28 he got. Are you getting? Sir, if I use a matrix representation, what is the problem is memory wastage is high. Correct or not? Okay, this is because first student 5 marks, but second student having how many marks? Only 2. Then the remaining 3 memory locations waste. Third student having how many marks? Only 1. Then the remaining 4 memory locations waste. Okay, fourth student having how many marks? Only 3. That's why remaining 2 memory locations waste. Are you getting? That's why make sure you people should aware clearly, right? Okay, so here if I use a matrix representation, there may be a chance of memory wastage. Actually going for arrays itself is a memory waste. In that once again more memory waste is nothing but like some people analyzed this problem. What the some people did is nothing but they didn't implement multi-dimensional arrays by using matrix style. They followed a different memory approach. So for creating 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional arrays, what is the approach followed by some people? Okay, array of arrays approach. Array of arrays approach. Sir, what is this concept? It's not matrix. Array of arrays approach. Sir, what is this concept? Can you explain? Like here, see, same thing in Java. How it is going to be represented? How many student marks I have to represent? 4. So base array size is 4 size. Base array size is 4 size. In the first student, how many marks? First student having how many marks? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First student. That's why here it is an array where first student having how many marks? 5. Can you spell out 10, 12, 07, 09, 15 like. Second student having how many marks? Only 2. Create an array with a size 2, 28, 67. Third student having how many marks? Only 1. That's why create an array with a size 1, 80. Fourth student having 3. That's why create an array with a size 3 like and S is the reference variable for that. Are you getting that? S is the reference variable for that. So have you, I hope you people can able to understand very easily. So array of arrays. Sir, it is basically an array where each element is an array. Can you tell if I use this approach, anywhere memory wastage? No, that's why that is the advantage of arrays approach. Some people, they didn't follow matrix representation for creating two-dimensional array. Some people followed which approach? Arrays approach for multi-dimensional array creation. What is the advantage of this approach? Memory utilization by default will be improved. Clear for all of you at this point? At the point, well, in Java, what do you have to any heading kind of thing? Two-dimensional array creation. Keep submitting. Two-dimensional array creation. Under that you have to take two-dimensional array creation. Two-dimensional array creation. Okay, under that add. In Java, two-dimensional array. In Java, two-dimensional array not implemented. In Java, two-dimensional array not implemented. Not implemented by using matrix representation. Not implemented by using matrix style. Some people followed array of arrays approach. Some people followed array of arrays approach. Some people followed array of arrays approach. Array of arrays approach for array of arrays approach for multi-dimensional array creation. For multi-dimensional array creation. Some people followed array of arrays approach for multi-dimensional array creation. Multi-dimensional array creation. Multi-dimensional array creation. Next now, the main advantage of this approach is what the main advantage of this approach? Memory utilization will be improved. The main advantage of this approach is memory utilization will be improved. Memory utilization will be improved. Like, clear for all of you, right? Okay. Now take a bit special care. Here I am taking just a legend this one. Sir, I want so example 1, just observe. Sir, I want this memory structure. So here 3 size. Are you getting? X is like this. Sir, it is my array. Where? So it is one dimension. In that every element is another array. Overall, what the dimension of this array? 2 dimension. Array of arrays. If it is the 3 dimension, array of arrays, one more level will be there. Sir, here first element one dimensional array with a size 2. Second element one dimensional array with a size 3. How to create? Simple. Write Java code for this. How we can write Java code? Because sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Like you may have the doubt. Legend, simple. I'm taking int 2-dimensional array x is equal to new 2-dimensional array. Into 2-dimensional array x is equal to new 2-dimensional array. Where can you tell what is the base size? What is the base size? 2. Base size is the 2 because here 2. What is the next level size? Sometimes 2, sometimes 3. That's why not fixed. If it is not fixed, not required to worry. Leave that, no problem at all. In the next lines we will talk about that. Sir, x of 0 is equal to x of 0 is nothing but this one. So can you tell x of 0 is what? One dimensional array with the size 2. Now new one dimensional array with a size 2. Next, x of 1 is equal to new one dimensional array with a size 3. New one dimensional array with a size 3 by default. Any explanation is required? Okay, this is, make sure you people should have clarity, right? Okay, so add example 1. Memory structure and corresponding Java code. You have to take at least base size we have to specify. Remaining sizes are not required to specify. At least base size we have to specify anyway. Completed, right? Take. Okay. Now, example 2. This is what example 1. Example 2. Like, now, example 2. Okay, here just observe. I am taking an array like this. Analyze carefully. Base size 2. Here size 3, but here size 2. Here size is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now here size is 2. Here size is 2. That's all. Can you tell what is the dimension of this array? Array? What is the dimension? Array of arrays. Oh, 3 level arrays is nothing but 3 dimension, right? Can you tell how to write equivalent Java code? Very simple. Can you guide na? Int 3 dimensional array x is equal to in 3 dimensional array new 3 dimensional array like this. Sir, new 3 dimensional array like this I am taking new. Okay, like in that what is the base size? Base size is the 2 fixed, sir, no problem at all. Its size is 2. Sir, can you tell what is the next level size? Sometimes 3, sometimes 2. Oh, not fixed. If it is not fixed, leave that, no problem at all. Sir, until base level I can fix. In the next lines I will talk about remaining. Now x of 0 is equal to, sir, x of 0 is nothing but what? This total. X of 0 is nothing but this total. Now x of 0 is equal to new 2-dimensional array. Because is it a 2-dimensional array or not? Yes, x of 0 2 dimension. In the what is the base dimension? 3. Good. 3. What is the next level size? Sir, 1, 2, 3. Not fixed. Leave that. No problem at all. Next, x of 0, 0. Sir, x of 0, 0. X of 0, 0 is nothing but like this part. X of 0, 0. Can you tell x of 0, 0 is what? New int 1-dimensional array with a size 1. 1-dimensional array with a size 1. Next, x of 0 followed by 1. X of 0 followed by 1. 1 is nothing but like this one. Can you tell what about this? New int array of size 2. X of 0, 2. X of 0, 2 is nothing but like new int array. New int array of what? 3. 3. New int array of 3. New int array of 3. That's all. Are you getting? New int array of 3. Like that's it. So this total first wing completed. Now we have to talk about one second wing, x of 1. Sir, x of 1 is equal to, it is a 2-dimensional array. 2-dimensional array. Okay. Now new 2-dimensional array, like in that what is the base size? 2. Sir, base size is the 2. What is the next level size? Next level size is always what? 2. So if it's always 2, okay, no problem. At the beginning only you can fix it. If it is varied, then in the next lines we have to talk, but it's always fixed. That's why like take this one. Now how to create 2-dimensional array like with variable sizes. Take clearly. Into 3-dimensional array x is equal to new 3-dimensional array of 2 like x of 0 is equal to new int of 3, x of 0 0, new int of 1 2 3 followed by 2 2 like. Completed, right? Clear for you, I hope. You are now completed, right? Okay. So this is what you people should aware. Okay. Now based on this, what possibility to ask the question for the exam? Okay, take a bit style. Which of the following array declarations are valid? Which of the following array declarations are valid? Which of the following array declarations are valid? Okay, take all these things. Int array a is equal to new int array, like take all 10 declarations are there, 10 lines. You have to decide which are valid and which are invalid. Take clearly. Int array a is equal to new int array of 10. Int array a is equal to new int array of 3. 2-dimensional array a, new int array of like completed, right? Int array a is equal to new int array. Int array a is equal to new int array of 3, like this. First one, second, third, like. Are you able to understand, right? Okay. So can you tell which are valid, which are invalid? You have to decide. First one, invalid, because at least base size we have to specify. Second one, valid. Third one, invalid, because at least base size we have to specify. Take parallel answers. Next, fourth one, valid. Fourth one, valid. Fifth one, invalid, because without specifying base size, how you can specify? How you can specify next level? Invalid. Next, sixth one, valid. Seventh one, valid, 3 4 5 valid, eighth one valid because first two dimension sizes we specified valid. Next ninth one invalid because without specifying second dimension size how you can talk about third dimension. Next last one invalid because without specifying first dimension size how you can specify about second and third dimension sizes. Have you observed, right? So this one is nothing but invalid. Okay, so first one invalid, second one valid, third one invalid, fourth valid, fifth one invalid, sixth valid, 7 valid, 8 valid, 9 and 10 are invalid. Okay, that's all. So this is array creation, how we can create array. Next, keep subheading. Array initialization, array initialization, array initialization, initialization, array initialization. Okay, what is the option is, listen. Sir, I am taking int array x is equal to, int array x is equal to new int array of 3 I am taking. Sir, listen, this example conclusion is there. Int array x is equal to int array of 3. System dot out dot println of x, SOP of x and SOP of x of 0. SOP of x and SOP of x of 0. Can you tell what is the output we will get? In the first case what the answer, in the second case what the answer? In the first case what the answer, second one what the answer? Okay, make sure you people should aware. Int array x is equal to new int array of 3. Sir, here we created an array with the size 3, x is the reference variable for that. Do you know, whenever we are trying to print any reference variable, internally which method will be called? ToString method will be called. How the ToString method is implemented? Okay, how the ToString method is implemented? Just to return class name, get the rate, hash code, like we will discuss somewhere. Okay, in java.lang package, class name, what is the class name? Anna, square bracket I, at the rate, class name at the rate. Okay, hash code in hexadecimal from, so some 3a 25 a5 something like some number, not fixed. Okay, some number. Okay, hexadecimal string which represents hash code in hexadecimal form, like we are going to get. Next x is a reference variable, right? Second point, once we create an array, automatically every array element by default initializer with what? Default values, right? So default value 0 0 0, every array element. That's why x of 0, what the answer we are going to get? 0 by default. You are getting x of 0 itself is nothing but what? 0 itself. Okay, at this point. Yeah, once we create an array, every element, once we create an array, every element by default initializer with the default values. Every array element by default initializer with the default values. Every array element by default initializer with default values. By default initializer with the default values. Okay, simple. Here legend this one. Let me show this one. Is it correct or not? Int array x is equal to new int array of 3. Next here see, system dot out dot println of x I am taking, and SOP of x of 0 is nothing but like this. SOP of x of 0 like this I am taking, right? Sir, now let me compile. Yes boss, let me run. What is the answer we are getting? So square bracket I at the rate 8D00C6 is nothing but that number is not fixed, varied from system to system, version to version. Next SOP of x of 0 is nothing but 0, right? Okay, take this example diagram and output also. Take clearly. Completed, right? Completed, I hope. Okay, next at the point, whenever we are trying to print, whenever we are trying to print, whenever we are trying to print, note, whenever we are trying to print, note, under note you can take, whenever we are trying to print any reference variable, whenever we are trying to print any reference variable, internally toString method will be called. Internally toString method will be called. Internally toString method will be called. Internally toString method will be called, which is implemented by default, to return the string in the following form. To return the string in the following form. Class name at the rate, what the next one, hash code in hexadecimal form. Okay, take this one. In the java.lang package I will explain much. Class name at the rate hash code in hexadecimal form. Class name at the rate hash code in hexadecimal form. Like, completed, I hope. Okay, now next terminology. Okay, make sure you people should have clear idea, right? Okay, now the next terminology. Here listen. Just I'm taking another example. Int 2-dimensional array x is equal to new 2-dimensional array. Okay, like, sir, base size 3, next level size 2. Now I'm taking system.out.println of x, system.out.println of x of 0, here base size 2, next level size is 3, no problem, either 2 3 or 3 2, no issue. SOP of x of 0, SOP of x of 0 0, SOP of x of x of 0, x of 0 0. Can you tell what the answer? What the answer? First one, so some Greek and Latin. Okay, class name at the rate. Second one, 0. Third one, or nay, how did the 0 always? What the answer? Okay, make it. Good. Legend. What is the dimension? 2 dimension. Where base size is what? 2. Sir, base size is 2. X is base size is the 2. In the x of 0 is what? How much size? 3. Here how much? 3. Okay. Once we create an array, every array element by default initializer with what? Default values, right? Okay, every array element by default initializer with the default values 0 0 0 0 0 0, because usually elements should be at the end, is nothing but like all are references. SOP of x. Sir, what is x? X is a reference variable to 2-dimensional array. Are you getting? That's why. So class name 2-dimensional array, class name at the rate some hash code 3A25A5 some number. Okay, like, because x is a reference variable to 2-dimensional array. Next, x of 0. Do you know, sir, x of 0 is a reference variable to one dimensional array. This object is there or not? Yes. So it's a reference variable to one dimensional array. One dimensional array reference variable, what the output? Square bracket I at the rate some number 198.21f, like some number we will get. X of 0 0, x of 0 0, what the answer Anna? 0 by default. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, this is, sir, x is reference variable to 2 dimension, x of 0 is a reference variable to 1 dimension, and x of 0 0 is nothing but like what we are going to get, 0 itself. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, now observe this one. Here int array x is equal to new int array of 3 followed by 2. SOP of x of 0, SOP of x of 0 0, like. Are you getting? Now listen. The answer we are going to get is, have you observed? Square bracket I at the rate is nothing but like we are getting. Next square bracket I, and then what? 0 by default. Are you getting? Same example only, 3 followed by 2, like we are getting the same. Okay, take this example, or 2 followed by 3, any word. So x is 2-dimensional array reference, x of 0 is 1-dimensional array reference, x of 0 0 is nothing but 0. Completed, I hope. This is the example 2. Completed, right? Next one. Next point. Example 2. Clear, I hope. Next, example 3. Example 3. Sir, I want to make a small change. Based on that, you have to decide what the output. I want to make a small change. You should decide what is the output by default we are going to get. Okay, here see. SOP of x. SOP of x of 0. X of 0 0, like I am taking. Sir, SOP of x I am taking. What the change I want to take? Here 2 I am taking, that's all. Second dimension size I missed it, so I didn't specify. Now what is the answer? Are you getting? I did some change. Have you identified, right? What change? Here 2 3 is there, 3 I removed. What is the answer? Where? Okay, listen. Sir, what is the base size? What is the base size? 2. I am sure base size is 2. 2 is the base size. In the, actually x is a 2-dimensional array. X is a 2-dimensional array. Base size is 2. Next level size. What is the next level size? You didn't specify. If you didn't specify, actually it has to pointing to object, 1-dimensional array object. But you didn't specify this. Then the default value for object reference. Default value for object reference. Actually it is a reference. Reference to default value is nothing but null. Null will be saved here. Null will be there. Now SOP of x. Sir, x related array object already created. That's why square bracket I at the rate 3e25a5. Next, SOP of x of 0. Sir, x of 0, null, no array object, null is the thing. Now I am asking, x of 0, 0, oh null, what is your first element? Immediately null is going to rise null pointer exception. Are you getting? Because you can't ask anything null. If you are trying to perform any operation on null, immediately we will get what? Null pointer exception. Clear, right? Now let me execute this code. Here I am taking, just let me take 2 and let me remove 3. Okay, that's all. Same example, whatever there. Okay, observe what the answer by default we will get. First time square bracket I 12 DC DB 8C and then null, and last one is nothing but what? Null pointer exception, right? If we are trying to perform any operation on null, then we will get what? Null pointer exception, right? Okay, take this example 3. Example 3. Take clearly. Two-dimensional array x is equal to new two-dimensional array of 2. SOP of x, SOP of x of 0, SOP of x of 0, 0, 0, 0. We will get runtime exception, null pointer exception. Clear, right? Okay. Take a note. Take a note. Note. If we are trying to perform any operation on null, if we are trying to perform any operation on null, if we are trying to perform any operation on null, then we will get runtime exception. Then we will get runtime exception saying, null pointer exception. We will get runtime exception saying null pointer exception. That's all. Are you getting? So this is, so how we can, I mean default initialization, how the thing is happening. Here I am taking int array x is equal to new int array of 6. Now legend this one. Sir, I created one array with what is the size? 6. Okay, I created one array with the size 6. Okay, here see, x is the reference. Once we create an array, every array element by default initialized with the default value. What is the default value? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Sir, if you are not satisfied with the default value, then happily we can override the default values with our customized values. No problem. X of 0 is equal to 10. X of 1 is equal to 20. X of 2 is equal to 30. X of 3 is equal to 40. X of 4 is equal to 50. X of 5 is equal to 60, like. So once we create an array, every element by default initialized with the default values. If we are not satisfied with the default value, then we can override the default values with our customized values, right? Now this is 0. X of 0 is equal to 10. 0 override with the 10, 20, 30, 40, okay, 50, like a 60. Are you able to understand? Okay, this is first add. Once we create an array, every array element, every array element by default initializer with, every array element by default initialized with default values. Every array element by default initialized with default values. Every array element by default initialized with default values. Default values. Okay. If we are not satisfied with the default values, if we are not satisfied with the default values, if we are not satisfied with the default values, then we can override. If we are not satisfied with the default values, then we can override these values. We can override these values with our customized values. We can override these values with our customized values. With our customized values. We can override these values with our customized values. With our customized values. Okay, like take this example anyway. Int array x is equal to new int array of 6. Int array x is equal to new int array of 6. Next, x of 0 is equal to 10. X of 1 is equal to 20. X of 2 is equal to 30. Like, better to take clearly, right? X of 2 is equal to 30. X of 3 is equal to 40. X of 4 50. X of 5 60. Like, can I complete it, right? Okay, so better to take that diagram also. Next one, here see, sir, here x of 6 is equal to 70, like this I am taking. Is it valid or invalid? Because 0 1 2 3 4 5 valid indexes. X of 6 is equal to 70. What will happen? X of 6 is equal to 70. What will happen? Immediately we will get runtime exception. Array index out of bounds exception. Because valid range of index is 0 to 5 only. But I am taking 6. 6 is out of range. That's why immediately we will get array index out of bounds exception. Array index out of bounds exception, like we are getting. Next, x of minus 6 is equal to 70 or 80. X of minus 6 is equal to 80. Can you tell what will happen? X of minus 6 is equal to 80. Sir, whether it is negative? No. Whether it is plus 6 or minus 6, it is out of range index only. Plus 6 means here. Minus 6 means here. Out of range only. Actually valid range 0 to 5. Either plus 6 or minus 6. Out of range. That's why same exception. Array index out of bounds exception. Array index out of bounds exception we are going to get. Are you getting? Now, sir, here I am taking x of 2.5 is equal to 90. X of 2.5, 2.5, the element is nothing but 90. Is it valid or invalid? Invalid. Compiler will give left and right because syntactical mistake. Sir, compiler is always going to check whether it is valid int value or not. Plus or minus, within the range, out of range, my JVM is going to take care. Is it valid int value or not? Yes. But is it valid int value? No. Immediately, compile time error you are going to get saying possible loss of precision. Found double. Required is nothing but what? Int. This is the compile time error we are getting. Sir, you have to aware clearly. Is it a syntactical mistake or is it a logical mistake? Logical mistake at runtime the problem. Syntactical mistake at compile time only, right? Because index should be int value. Whether plus, minus, no problem. And within the range, out of range, no problem for compiler. But at runtime, JVM is going to take care. Okay? Take the remaining also. X of 6 is equal to 70. Runtime exception saying array index out of bounds exception. Take clearly. Completed, right? Okay, take a note. If we are trying to access array element, with out of range index, if we are trying to access array element with out of range index, within bracket, either positive value or negative value, either positive value or negative value, either positive or negative into value, bracket close. Then we will get runtime exception. Saying array index out of bounds exception. We will get runtime exception saying array index out of bounds exception. Exception. Okay, that's all. Are you getting?